It takes time for planner, it takes time for putting the packages together. So do you want to allow me, if I don't go too much on energy, bring me back to agriculture, because energy is very natural for me. But let's talk about the energy context. It's very important. Since when the crisis be 4 weeks ago, one man get blackout and not talk. Because I choose say, okay, let others talk, but maybe my own job now for help the citizens understand. For change an energy system takes time, 20, 30 years. So it cannot be political. And honor the citizens for understand how this change for come, and it take time, and every regime get for lay a foundation. I give you a simple example. President Momo get electricity problem, big time. We NPRC council they fix them. Quick, quick. We fix them small by the time they forget. When I remember Bakabanozo, INSEF called the Moroccans, they called ESCOM from South Africa. They can't help. We pack about the left, blackout problem back, not so. We all begin to buy Kabataila, not so. He handed over to President Nkrumah. President Nkrumah said, come, I remember income electric. All lengthy and day. Then said happen. When they left, what he left? Kapawa. Not so. Kapawa became before SFPP they come in. We said don't get now 5 years. So why foundation? 5 administrations. Continues. Unless this time, we the citizens and the leadership look and say na structural issues, na systemic issue, not a quick fix. We can patch and quick, for example. But who people don't come free in the last 3 weeks? Finance minister no, energy minister no. There's okay, bring other boats then quick for now. We say no. We don't want another boat. We want to fix the problem for generations. That is what we need to do. If not for food people, go bring them boats then, they're quick. Power, quick, we supply. But that happened before, and we're back here. And now, the problem is so serious because it's accumulated 30, 40 years, that if we not take it every year, we get a cyclical problem back. We want to fix it. Me don't spend 30 years on the field. I don't put my reputation on the line because I want to help fix it or lay the foundation to fix it. We gotta do that. So that I can put this map on. It's not Eldred. We want to build an infrastructure for the country. And one administration on the one. This is not about President Bio's regime. This is about this country's future. In the last 5 years, all kinds of study and nobody energy sector. I don't take me 10. Go inside there. MCC, World Bank, IFC, you name it. NGOs. I say, what are the things we should fix? Put this up because then money they all they beg for. They're all fit. We'll never see how they fit. When finance minister talks just now in MCC. But this is now one thing about the backbone. This country right now, this 1 grain transmission line will get 161. From Bomona to here, tick for them and this is cut, we don't wear. And when I not forget this why I take we 20, 30 years for them. We said MPRs will be help for Bilan. Yeah, we'll be in the Bilan small. But Momona start, but Sheki begin the dam up Nayana Bumuna. And it's Kroma. Now he able for turn on 2009, but there's no way he did it. You know why? Because it took so long. He was just there 2007. What am I trying to emphasize? Fixing the energy system takes time. That's why it cannot be political. That's why it has to be systemic, and every administration adds on it so that we'll have universal access. But at the 1 grain line they go. So some of them money are what they look for. Now for do the additional backbones. Southern Corridor, MCC, we'll talk about that. We need for connect the South. Indian exit back, we need for connect that one they say. So what you will get the complete loop. Waiting at this one, this is not CLSG. Where they come off from, Côte d'Ivoire, take out, go Guinea. If you look at beautiful circle, but this not be it, this not be it. Other half connection here, this now, all this now, Kenema is the coin. They're not connected. For build that infrastructure, it takes time, but it is doable in 3 years. Some of them money are already fed for. When you don't want, you need the substation there now inside. For take that power there to the cities, to the communities. Important. It takes time. With the pray God, we'll begin put the line there. Look, people they not go cut in the back for go make pots. Now we all get that job there. MPRC, I remember we get for they put soldier. For watch this line, they not cut more. I remember late Iraq Roma. One other time they will deploy Yelana Bumbuna for defender. Let alone post it down where begin build. You see what where I'm headed? First message to you is it takes time, consistency, teamwork, and leadership. Number one. Yeah? So when I go see House of Them Money, then they go. The round table. We go to the round table with some projects. But the people they want to say, okay, on a serious, on a get plan, on a get projects the way private sector will lead. So we take some of them, go with we. Yeah? Number one, Bumbuna, and we flagship. God give we boku water in this country. God give we sun. Don't they not feel the boku? The cheapest energy today, na Bumbuna, 3 cents. We buy car power 25 cents. Bumbuna na 3 cents. We buy from Cote d'Ivoire 12 cents. So we get what we call in the energy system least cost production and least cost sales. We want the lowest cost so we people they not go suffer. So the economy go move, it go boom. Because company, their factory, their restaurant, everybody need power, but also businesses. Yeah? So number one, Bumbuna. We will spend time for explain Bumbuna. Bumbuna very clear to me. Waitzman they don't study and 20 years ago. They built and they left 2 places. They put 2 turbines, they left 2. MCC came, he look at 3 years ago, they said, look, we're do this quick, 18 months, we're going to get 2 turbines. Inside, we're double the capacity of Bumbuna. In addition, next slide. In addition, we're going to do solar. We back her up. So Bumbuna, they give you 50 megawatts. If we do it in we don't go present now, we add another 120 megawatts. And it's scalable, it can expand. The studies are done. So with you, we don't go do, we don't present them to people. And before they present and some who don't travel, go behind the scenes, they convince them, they show them. We claim that this country say we get 250 megawatts installed capacity. Now normally we get for 8 million people. Some people in one neighborhood down and in some country. We hold power supply. But wait till we get supply. Now about 140. If we do Bumbuna in 3 years, 2 to 3 years, we add 120. We almost say double that. So then one big project. What we go do? We put 2 turbines in the back door here. We put solar here and up. 60 megawatts. But the money, because people ask how the money they can. And that make finance minister important. He be careful daily. In company finance minister, they may day. For say, look, we need private sector for leader, both domestic and international. It's not a free money. When private sector leads something, then puts themselves your money inside, it will survive forever. You know, they worry about too much problem. So that's now one major project. We'll get about 5 more. Another one, now 50 megawatts solar na Kamakuye, 50 megawatts solar na Bikombo. So they 120, another 220 already. The other one, they look Dodo. Dodo, they don't build for where they school. 6 megawatts for Kenema and Bo, but we can expand that to 12. Minister don't do a feasibility study there. Now they say for the package now, we want to put down the forward from 6 to 12 megawatts. Yeah? We look singing me 15 megawatts. So we get a portfolio of renewable energy projects because God give it for free. We're not get for people for fear. Yeah? Renewable energy, solar, hydro combinations with storage, we could boost with capacity. President envision when they see we launch in September, which we call the Just Energy Transition Plan. Some of una we can with dialogue in October. The Just Energy Transition Plan, the president in target now 1 gigawatt. It is set the vision, but not doing it for dollar. President Kennedy will tell the Americans, they say within a decade, we'll put a man on the moon. And not say, I, President Kennedy, will put you on the moon. In fact, they don't die safe. The Americans did it in less than 10 years. What we want to do now as a team is to set that target and we'll do a gigawatt in 10, 15 years. But now, this time, we're going to push that envelope. We want to do between 150 to 200 megawatts. We want to double within 3 to 4 years. Those monies are coming into finance, 3 to 6 months. So package that, get private sector folks in. It's going to be open. It's not to say you go take container, come on, no. It's an investment. You can't forget the skills. You can't forget the technical expertise made for put money inside, not to fly by night. The chances are super, they're good. From there, we don't go meet some developers together with India and others. We're ready for come in a week or so. We can take a look at some of them projects here. So that's on the energy side. On the food side, quickly. We put a number of projects on food security as well. Yeah, we put a number of projects on the table. One of the flagship Natomago. Yeah? We put that map up, you will see on the south. Yeah? We want to irrigate this area. We get 6 clusters for feed salon, where I don't see the Minister of Agriculture will talk about. When we go just touch on 2 key areas, yeah? And Opiana Kambia area. Yeah, they get another belt in Atokolili area. With the package them projects here, they put them. If you take Tomabom as a case study, we get almost 100,000 hectares done there if you connect them to Bondabi. Yeah? Flat land, fresh water. Fresh water. If we can build the infrastructure, we build the road going inside it. We use energy solutions, we flood the under, control the water, we can do 3 crops a year. We target, can we do 30,000 hectares there? And then similar numbers in other locations. Investors interested, some of that money, they come in. Agriculture requires infrastructure, it requires road, it requires energy. Energy solutions down here for the pump water, for mill the rest, for storage, for processing as well. And the one given at the context in there, the last slide, then I will hand over EDSA. All what you will do, it is well. If we not fix EDSA. I don't think say people realize. When the crisis be 4 weeks ago, all I heard, finance not repay. Finance not repay. I say, well, they don't know energy sector. Finance not supposed to pay. Now EDSA supposed to pay. Our EDSA, we lose 62% in losses. 62%. Think about business we they run. You lost 62%, not to one thing that one day. It's not correct. We gotta fix it. Look at some numbers here from all these studies that we don't do on EDSA. This is fact. We can take it down. If EDSA is not reformed, the utility will accrue 431 million in losses by 2027. That's not money for school. That's not money for hospital. Not finance for pay. EDSA for pay. When they pay fees, not so. Other people, they use the energy. Yeah, these are real numbers, eh? Because I hear people they talk to, I say they don't understand the sector. They don't understand the implications. We gotta fix EDSA. Otherwise, then money has everyone and they know they can't. EDSA supposed to pay people when they do investment in power. Then they only go to finance when they joke. Like near you waiting Sanga family, yeah, lend me quick 20 million, that's all I will pay you back. Now that's finance for do for them. But when you see, don't say now finance for pay, but the only money we collect. EDSA collects only 4 out of 10 units they sell. Where's the rest? We gotta fix it. If we not fix it, and we're dead. You lose almost $500 million in the next few years. How to fix EDSA? Many things. You get for fix the infrastructure, some of them old, but then we collect them for pay. So how we put MIS systems in, metering systems, and Boku people ready for help. I left this slide last, and they left up when I take them. For them to understand, and let's tell them, Liberia then fixed them EDSA. In the last 2 years, they reduced losses by 30%. The Liberia EDSA able to pay Cote d'Ivoire 10 million for the new power. We on EDSA no able to pay $100,000. What's wrong with us? If we not fix EDSA, the whole economy dies. All of you. Every year you will get serious blackouts for 10 in 2-3 months. Because nobody, all them working go don't do, for go bring them money that can in the whole. And everybody says fix your utility. The reform is complicated, but it is doable, and you will see a Boku of EDSA and resources will go into fixing this. Making sure when you pay, you get value for money. Making sure those who are using the most also pay. Because what? EDSA needs to build these interconnections I showed you in the map. I put this context, Mr. Minister, the government said the money. And then TV has the money for fix. And encourage private sector for invest in the sector. And Salomon and they will get projects there, $100 million. I was impressed. $100 million, $60 million. I am happy they're doing that. But to never let them package and to see if somebody will say, all right, I trust you enough to borrow money and invest with you. Some are foreign, some are local. With that context, we will take, me later on will take questions, but I don't lay the foundation for the college. Thank you very much.
Excellent. If you are journalists, you don't put pen and paper, you don't take notes. Now lecture, they can give so free lecture. After this, I can collect small thing for 1 hour for the lecture. We want to tell the Honorable Young Keller plenty thank you for not just the information but the civic education. I think on that issue, I find people let me know, and they know the facts and know the numbers behind the numbers. I think I need to look for it today. So now when they talk about electricity and energy, waiting government, waiting finance, is that you not to part of the people who talk no more. We understand the target to His Excellency don't set, the incredibly competent team we don't put in place, the plan we don't set out, waiting to achieve so far, and you don't visualize them for you. So you can see Osa we did and Osa we try to go. I just want to acknowledge the presence of Honorable Dr. Victor, the Deputy Minister of Energy. We are part of this plan here as well, and they are doing the question and answer term. If any question before, I don't say it for also answer. I don't think that this platform before. Now welcome to MCC, because we I really like what we get today, because Honorable Keko had already laid the foundation for you. But MCC too don't be a subject of so much misinformation. Waiting at MCC, waiting to MCC, who said it need to go, I need already these 2 days. Plenty question. So Yusuf perform small civic education. Waiting at MCC, waiting at the process, waiting for expect, when we sign, who's spending money they can our accounts. So everyone who's sending money, so who's sending money they can. But just provide the content so people will get a sense of how they go. Thank you, Dave.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, and thank you very much, Honorable Kandayonka. I'll be all excited for the Naya. Since Wednesday, we smile from ear to ear because the work we don't put in forgets this MCC, the challenges that we don't face. For we don't deny today, a great accomplishment, not for an individual, but for the people of Salon. We therefore continue to believe, say, we as people, able for put effort, we able for do things in the right way, we able for withstand challenge, and we able for deliver. Waiting we don't able for do today with this MCC, although a long journey, but it is a story of how Salon people then, nobody not do this for we. Consultants not will take credit for this. Nobody not sit on any side. Now President Bio puts team together. Salon man and woman them from all over this country. Puts them together and say, if you able to do this work, I want to do this team, because we know what the MCC go do for transform this sector. We are one of the greatest challenges there when we get a Salon. So the MCC Compact, now reflection of the change of mentality, say we need to talk about impossibilities anymore at Salon. We need to talk about what we be able for do. And as waiting Dr. Young Keller don't talk, now teamwork, now people that come together, now the support of the Minister of Finance, the Minister of State, the Honorable Vice President, many stakeholders there, we come together and say this with the TINAP for this Salon able for full name and this MCC. But who can't see they don't try, qualify them able for qualify. We, by ourselves, we able to meet the maximum for MCC. We transform, we scorecard in this country. And many people then get questions, how we do it. Now understanding, Salon they do work, but we need to sell the country, we spend with time, we talk for the negative, then tell them about the country. But what we do, we package. Waiting Salon don't do in edge scorecard. No other country, I stand on that. No other country not able to achieve that.
It's okay, if I clap, it's okay. You know, you're the place. Clap for yourself.
We not able to do that. And as I keep on they say, not to one group of people, not to individual. Me in there, I can't take credit for everything we don't happen. It was a team of people, and I have an amazing and strong team. And I get people there like Dr. Yonkela, where they rely on this team for how we they take this step further, for able to bring possibilities where there were impossibilities for ladies' country go before. So in terms of the compact, I know say all man interested in how the process they work. And I can assure now say, at the top of the mind, now how we make sure every dollar where they don't promise salon go be spent. And the good thing is that we have experience because we did not implement the 44.4 million they put on. That way they know how to put the power, where therefore be merit order. We'll say merit order, we think about waiting at the cheapest. And we they also think about, if na solar, how will they deal with intermittent, meaning some of them say that they're not to base load power. So all them decisions that they, now not so John, they sit down on side with paper and pen. These are going to be digital systems there where you're able to make better decisions on how you they ensure the reliability. Then they transform the private sector. Now, manufacturer will go afraid, mining sector will go afraid, say if I put my entire system on the light way EDSA they provide, if you go off, I go lost. Now they go able to get more confidence because now we get system in place. The second part, and then over $200 million now they put into that. The second area now access and distribution. It is not only in Freetown. We reinforce the system in Freetown, but we also they look at other towns then across the country. We they look outside with transmission line and they outside city then they close to we they go and electrify them. We they decommission the shield wire na Makeni. We they build substation na Makeni for lay power improve na Makeni. The 161 line where they talk about the one lifeblood right now where you get. We they retrofit standing with fiber optics for improve the communication on the line. These are critical for evacuate power to where the load centers then they in the country. So with the increased access, so this issue of EDSA, the customer, we be able to connect more people there. But we make sure say the system strong for that connection day, because the challenge is that if you go and connect per week system, it means that the light way they get, now so they go bad. So we want to make sure say we connect more people, then the system resilient and reliable. The last part what they look at now reform.
How much for that for a second?
That make that for be $122 million. Then the last bit what we look at the reform, that scary slide where they put for EDSA. We enter EDSA. Because we know say any investment we make in the sector not will be sustainable unless EDSA is resolved. So we come in for lead, we come in for backstop, any side way government choose for go with EDSA, MTC they be able for push that way. So they be flexible. If they say that they go with PSP, we go invest in the PSP. If they say they're not ready for the PSP, we go also be able to do some of the loss reduction activities. But we know say government champion the PSP because as we say, we know say that is a sustainable solution for EDSA. So we really get to make sure we build and we really look at EGTC. EGTC, we'll not talk about EGTC. EGTC is our generation and transmission. You cannot have all these hundreds of kilometers of transmission there, EGTC not able to do nothing with that. We're not going to rely on somebody else, so this not to O&M contractor. When we talk, but we believe in the people there. EGTC for step up. The need for managing hundreds of kilometers of transmission line there, where we can put into the system. We get for scale them up. We get for make sure say Sierra Leoneans are going to be in charge of the infrastructure where MCC get for build. We they talk about governance. We they talk about planning. The reason why we don't tell we not because we know the plan. Energy not an overnight solution. We were able to reduce losses, but we might end up with back if we continue to do all of the things there related to the revenue protection. For address revenue protection at EDSA, not so just the EDSA question. There's so one of the things that we always worry about. Are we getting value for money? The reason why potentially you they get projects that where you the number there, you only it now because now one green bill don't come in. But you do your own feasibility studies, then you they go down at the market, you they able to get different bidders, then you they see the value. This we expect say that by August, end of August, September, President Bio will sign along with our Minister of Finance, who is the principal representative for the government of Salone. Now he will sign and he must go to watch him and make sure say he sign the right side. But when we don't sign, we get to go parliament. This is an international agreement. So they go parliament and parliament get to ratify before we begin to spend. In the first year, the tender now we do all of the final design work then for the project. Then they now get for be the mobilization period. Then the MCC don't put $42 million for we able to do all of the design work there, all of the contracts there. Dear Salone people, the way they listen to this program, una get opportunities, money there for loan and big consultants there. We they look for Salone consultants there for coming. This now way for lay una also contributes to our country development. We also get to set up an accountable entity. So in terms of the accountability mechanisms, government of Salone will support this program. Some people that don't get faith. Some people that say this now all talk, nothing on get for commodity. Well, we don't see. The American people there don't show say they're committed to Salone, and we therefore now show we commitments to them by making sure we deliver this for transform the lives of the people of Sierra Leone. Thank you.
Somebody listening to Soya Bindeo. For them we get this level of detail. The government of Salone, the canton slide with the people who are inside presents the facts. Make available to you. They will open back you. Ask any and all questions. Because they will not try small, eh? But the substance of it is now that try they will not try. Now you don't lead to the good thing out there so. Because the count they say the first thing that because of the reform they will make. Education. I can always say we want to celebrate the kind gains they will make in education enough. People like to want to talk and say, apart from education, what's it going on? Education apart from, you know, the kind respect we get around the world, the transformation we don't see 1.5 million additional kids added to the school. We'll take to the Ghana and then we'll do free education. Ghana, who will look up to? That basic education they pay for. The government of Salone they pay for. Say end of school. And if you're a woman you study STEM or STEM now because of agriculture, all the way through university. We don't do something there right now, eh? So we want to lay the foundation. We get competent people there. We're willing for come and talk to we. If I want to also tell that positive story of this country, not all things we do it wrong. We get something we'll continue for improve on. For the plan day, the competence day, the team day, and we invite we all as Salone people that don't join for move things go before. Now I can say the defensive midfielder. Now the anchor. All this will happen. Accounting, grants, international partnership, money business, it get for come down to the economy. And waiting all of this mean. I will invite the minister and say, wait I want when they don't discuss OPEC and MCC, let it bring a hope for me. What's the meaning of all of this? What this will do for the economy and how this relates to the long-term economic plan that we get overlay for this country. You get 10 minutes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sir, and thank you for the eloquent presentation by the area speakers, Dr. Yukela Nde Kuroma, for giving a very good background of what we don't do. What I will bring home, like the fact say, the foundational infrastructure now we try for address for the country. No one do patch business anymore. The patch don't lead to a lot of perennial problems in the sector, especially energy. It's the same thing with agriculture. A foundational approach we take for change the face of agriculture for the people. This is really what we're doing. Now, when we go I will begin first by the OPEC before I come to MCC. When we go meet the Arab group of partners, Arab coordinating group of partners, and be a capture group of a particular type of financing entities. So you hear OPEC Fund, you hear Badia, Islamic Development Bank, Kuwaiti Fund, Qatar Fund, you had Saudi Fund, you had also AG Fund, many of these. These are Arab coordinating group of partners, Islamic Development Bank. HE thought he has a lot of friends there. Most of them are in Paris as well. Same here with me, and same with Dr. Yunkela. We took advantage of their being in OPEC for OPEC, they began what they call their own development forum where they host. And they bring all their partners here and draw people there from all parts of the world. We thought it was an opportunity for the government for wholesale, a key component where the people are interested in renewable energy, but also food security. But we don't go there prepared. We carry two big interventions. We, Dr. Yunkela don't present. Tomorrow, we go to wheat. One of the rice clusters, we HU and make sure say, change agriculture. It's an $800 million project. We did into developing Tomago itself, attacking 30,000 hectares of irrigation infrastructure, ensuring that the road from, I think it's from Sirabo, right down into Tomago, 76 kilometers of road, but also ensuring that the power infrastructure we needed for boost agriculture, because you know build silos and all of those things and machines, those ones are funded. And the way we attract their partners, their particular partner there, if you go with a prepared project, otherwise it's going to be so slow for you to capture their attention. That's what really drew their attention to what HE did. And as a leader, head of state, convening a particular mobilization effort bring a lot of attention to how serious he is about transforming the country. So he was able to gather very solid pledges. And I think pledges that we did not even envisage, even ourselves, even when we took those packages to them. Same so for the energy. The energy was very focused. We don't say the storyline around we energy infrastructure, we are a hydro country. We are predominantly, fundamentally a hydro-based power country. Our base load is hydro. We should ensure that we optimize all the hydro potential in Sierra Leone. We have solar, as well we can do wind, because energy is a mix. If we do thermal power self, which we already do in Sierra Leone, for make sure say we trim down the size of thermal power because we don't see the cost associated with thermal power supply. We don't get control over oil prices. So we for optimize, which will also be get best at the water system and the hydro system. The hydro system is being built already, but we need for scale up. And we know say we already get drawings, data, and information, and all of those around it. But the smartness that came into the design, we set up a hybrid approach where we say we mix blend solar and scaling up or expanding the existing Bourbon hydro power for build up. Now, partners that take keen interest in that approach because of the current discussion around renewable energy and climate change discussions, given Sierra Leone as one of the vulnerable countries. Now, OPEC will be the host entity OPEC Fund, the president will direct support to the president's initiative. That was phenomenal, and we're going to work with them and make sure, say, expediently get a program there. They'll set up a technical team. We'll go with a technical team here. The Ministry of Energy and Finance and PIPREF will be the ones spearheading the energy component of the interventions, and then the Ministry of Agriculture and Finance will drive the other components as well. We're going to be meeting and ensuring that that technical team, the way they follow up, do the follow up, very critical, and coordinately as we go raise the local population as fast as we can. So that team, nimble, effective, efficient, collaborative team that established on the same money with 250 million years, 100 million. So additional 150. So that's underneath that's actually underneath our belt. Now, equally so, many other partners that come on board. We spoke to IFAD. IFAD pledged $90 million. Africa 50 pledged $130 million in new space for boost 100 megawatts of power in 2 phases. It's solar with battery infrastructure. Qatar Fund bringing $80 million pledge as well. Add all of these, $800 million, plus what I know that was there was a lot of resource pledged in the background in the bilateral that His Excellency held, which each and every of those presidents of those banks, with me and the Minister of Energy and Minister of Agriculture, will actually facilitate. And each and every one of them say, all we need is projects that are ready. In your existing portfolio, all projects that are almost close them to create space. We are ready to support you. The power of convening of the head of state. And I think the accolade, way he carried there, and the way he don't manage things, really drive them people, they take them very serious. So he left away. I must say, I left away as areas, and we don't put in trust in. For long, we make sure say he accomplish in vision in the next 5 years or 4 years we don't left. Now we get a responsibility not for let them down. I think that's very important. Now on the compact side, the issue with compact build on trust. That way they need us in. And trust on multiple reforms. And there is a continuous reform with 2 continuous reforms we're critical. Americans, who are the founders of the NCC, then they actually promote democracy in the world. And that engagement is a continuous engagement. And it can come any kind of way around democratic discussions, right? So they want to make sure say that tenet of their own value is something that whoever is using or getting access to the taxpayers' money, that country they espouse and exhibit clearly in their own judgment their value system, which is democracy and democratic unity and all of those things. Now, that's not undercurrent. But beyond that, they get other forms of reforms, governed with economic and social reforms, really compact they try to promote. And that is a very important thing where they left you the country for letting you systems or institutions where relevant for effective running of the state, where they underpin the democratic value, where they hold. You make sure you meet them as well. Then they continuously assess you on this. Luckily for Sierra Leone, we have made phenomenal progress on the compact. And we continue to make progress on the compact. That's how we were able to build the trust and confidence of the American taxpayers and their leadership for make sure that we will pass the compact. And at the $480 million is serious money for an economy of ours. It's not small money. Equally so, the $800 million pledge, and I talked to other partners there already. I see a lot of attention being drawn to us. That there is something fundamentally positive happening in Sierra Leone. And I'm very pleased for the first pronouncement to EDSA news that in fact the tripartite issue is something that has been resolved. It's a continuous process of engagement. It's a fundamental issue that I think we should hold together. And we should assuage people. Let we all hold ourselves together because what we are doing starts in each and every individual's life. It's not about political party matter. State building. That the nation will decide for beyond. And President B is not going to be here forever. This is the truth. We're going to be happy. We can come and go and leave this country, but this country has to be built beyond what it is right now. And this foundational infrastructure are urgently needed for we to make any leap, whether you want to do industries, whether you want to be agricultural farms, not left for the buy rest from abroad. We're not for the buy rest from abroad, where you get Tomahawk, for example. Well, I identify 6 ecological areas. They have to be developed. Now, the first outreach with President Luna for Tomahawk, and I think the Tomahawk will be built. And what the model is very clear. These partners that we went to, I think I'm almost on our close, but I'll make them appreciate them. These are public sector partners who will support the government budget to de-risk the agricultural sector for attract private sector for coming inside at scale. That's how it's done. So if we use public money and international bank money for do what? For invest in the kind of infrastructure public where the private man will do. Private man can build a road for you. If you build a road, you will tell you that you told them and the toll price you will put the every man will for you. So it's like public goods. Same for irrigation. Private man will build irrigation. Now you the state, the public, now you build the irrigation. That's why these international banks are there. So they build the irrigation and put the lines. Then prepare the land. Make sure that the land is secure and prepared. What the private sector brings, it's bringing knowledge, it's bringing technology, right? And then they bring finance. And they three things and then they bring. But for them to attract that finance at scale, you got to clean up all the risks here associated with the investment. It's the same approach we are using in the energy sector as well. We're de-risking it. And when you de-risk, they de-risk through T&D lines, because it's actually government responsibility. When it comes to production, for the generation of power, the private sector will come, because you have created a conduit where they invest, they will sell and get their money back. That's really the trust. I just wanted to set the scene. Lord, I appreciate exactly where we're headed. I think we're headed in a very good direction, and I'm very good hopes that the leadership provided by His Excellency is very solid for this result that we will accomplish. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I smile because the summary of all we tell you that only pass we all, and that we get the leadership. You know, for letting one look we and invite the part to them sleep the way can go, we did make conversation and they respect. They respect it. And I expect 9 months translates into then tangible investments here into the country and the economy, the plan we want to put in place. The quality of the people they represent, we just listen to, by any measure, 3 of the most outstanding Sierra Leoneans. By any way you want to describe them, they are the lecture they just provide you, we all, are 3 of the top performing people who get some public service in this country. And then go serve na any top institution in the world. In fact, they have already done it. Most of them don't serve na some of the top institutions. Yeah. It's a serious business. We president is a serious man. We don't put together a very serious team. We need to give us tangible rewards. Resources into the economy. We see plan them, implementation of the plan, and they will go better with people there. And like how Honorable KKY say, it's on the all talker. It's not about President Bill alone. People say as a union, it's about all of us. It's about me, you, and we to go for the reform of this country before. Alright. Then we come back, we get some answer there, and we take the next set of questions. Let me see the hands first. Now, this is some females as well. Okay. Like I see, and I will pick 5 after the first round to back. Okay? Today we start with bar, and then number 1. We'll go with this gentleman, and then number 2. We'll go with this gentleman from Star, and then number 3. We go with Mr. Father Bienda, and then number 4. The next one has to be a female, otherwise I'm going to give that question. They get 4 man and talk now. Who do you want there? What? My brother left for. Who I get back? I want the number 5. Okay, woman not there now. Then okay, we'll give you as number 5. Alright, quick, logo.
Mohammed Memorial Watch and I'm going to be there home. In Dekoruma, you had the Minister of Finance say the Memorial is built of trust. They managed to say 11 people for good trustworthy. You had Dr. Onkara say we get a structural issue. And of course, we get to build a foundation to fix it. Then you say, you give us a limited, and the FCC will get a limit of 5 years for make a structural transformation. Okay. You get an issue of sewer. It's not what you mean that it happens. Tell me what is the risk. You take into consideration that we've got quite a lot of cases where corruption does fall.
Thank you, sir. So for you in Black Sky, I don't want to mistake where you give up the chance for game prelude. let's assume say you set the chance for the load. The only person we allow Naya, when they keep ask question, they get context. Naya Pakamara, Naya the only resident superstar. Everybody else straight to the question. I don't want to confuse them if you see, yeah, well levels. Go ahead, sir.
Ibrahim Salassi, Voice of Salon Radio. And Honorable, how will we protect?
Which number are you able to? Okay.
Honorable candidate.
Okay.
How will we able to protect Nguna Aido against mining company the way that they mine now the lake facilities that they go on? How will we able to protect them?
Thank you. Number 3. Star Radio.
The Minister of Finance, with all the pledges there, some will say grants on loans, how it will impact on the debt in the city.
Thank you very much. Number 4, Father, there.
I'm about to look for city administrator. 480 million and 800 million and 1.2 billion plus. Madam, they tell me say this money will land. You know something money for land. Only they say the simple treasury account extra money. So who send this money there for land?
All right, thank you very much. Number 5.
Yes, that's a boost of critical times. That's a boost of critical times. Yeah. Why should they tell me thank you for the good news we have bring for the country? That $800 and something million pledge, how am I going to ensure that pledge is a match up to actuality? One. And we money don't come for energy. How we going to spread that across the country? Because we are only seeing actions in Freetown and provincial headquarters. How about the rural interior? What side the fix alone there for take place? How can we ensure that? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. When I take you for the question, I'll give all chance for them to go quickly, so we'll take another few rounds as well. Maybe we start with you now, Mr. Minister. So you go first and then we can this way.
I have, okay, so first.
Outside the money to go problem single treasury accounts, how we expect sales it's on. I think you can comment on any of them.
Yes. So on debt, implication of the resources there. So this money is going to be spent on projects. And those projects will be managed under a governance structure. There is a board and then there is an MCC entity. Now they get for really manage the money and the key to whether they win the contract they will deliver on their investment day. So that's the structure. You know, they can sign the CRF side. Yeah, the CRF money, now with taxpayers' money, the money we collect as taxes or we due as direct grant under programs coming directly to the budget. If you go for projects, you go through the project implementing entity, where those international institutions, they go over how they use them, so that's fine. When it comes to the other money, they don't pledge the $800 million, EDSA for all, for example, we direct this to the project for money that can sign the CRF. The other ones, when they come in the form of loans, they come as project program loans. Those loans will be concessional loans. Then debt implications, we able manager. They are not commercial. The other one, when they come like commercial, those will be leveraged. They will be on the books of the private entity. We will take the best Natoma, for example. As long as government don't de-risk, I use the word de-risk, you don't build the road, you don't fix the irrigation, you don't fix the farmland. In they can draw in projects, say, I can bring the finance, I bring the technology for the seedlings and the like, I can plant with me know-how, I will plant at scale and then make profits, I will pay back the debt what I will take. The bank will give them for comfort because government don't de-risk the investment. So these are limited debt generating, worsening of debts, worsening investments the way we don't want to attract. We committed to concessional loan acquisition as a state. With the state that they take one concessional loan at all, if you not fall within the system. So that's one. How do the pledges be actualized? I did talk about the lean effective, efficient team we will all set up for follow them on here and work with them partners there, with their own processes and procedures, or make sure that the projects are ready and they are ready for their boards to approve in time. We are very experienced about this. That's why we took projects to them. We just didn't take the face of the president. We took projects with his face and voice to attract their attention. So we have somewhere to start. And the last time, there are some partners who are funding rural electrification. I know SC for All, for example, has yes, there's a lot that they are doing within the country that are funding rural electrification programs in the country. And I know during the pledge, the SC for All money, they increased the pledges for additional mini grids, yeah, from 6 to about 16, I know, 10 additional ones, which sum up to the money, which is the ability to make sure, and I think I can push on this a little bit. Mini grid is expensive. We need to make sure it's cheaper for our people. And I'm announcing here that we'll be having discussions for make sure that the government subsidize that particular part of intervention, for encourage them for their investment in it across the country. So that when people that we're not able to afford, we know the life which they're able to make sure they do economic activities like that.
That's a major economic announcement from the Minister of Finance. Governments, they look into seriously for subsidizing the mini grid sector so that we will continue to expand the national access. Let me get Madam Kuruma quickly on the question of risk on MCC, and then the chairman will round up.
Sure. In terms of the risk for MCC's activities outside of the infrastructure investments is on reforms. So there are going to be reforms, so they can be time bound as well. So the implementation of their reforms, and they unlock additional things the way they go forward with the compact. So the greatest risk is that if we're not able to show the commitment for complete their reforms and they doing them reform and they on time, so Nadane I will say that the major concern.
Excellent, thank you. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Let's go straight to rural electrification. If you look at transmission map we put up to now, then you go, if you get that loop done over the next few years, you will say it touched a number of rural areas. So that's an important one. Some of the studies the way MCC belong do, we already look at what we call energy for productive uses. So there's some connection there with major agricultural production centers. But on the other side, we're not separating, we're not being at the round table. Right now, me and Honorable Minister Dr. Taylor, we lead a subcommittee now we call Mini Grid Accelerator. President set a target for 200 more mini grids, which means 200 more communities. Most of those will be embedded in those 6 agricultural clusters as a push. Also, we don't look, say, okay, the current mini grid already there is small at 36 kilowatts. The next generation of mini grid to one start from 120 to about 300 to 1 megawatt. So of the 200 who one rollout, the European Union therefore do 57. As I say, Dr. Taylor and me, they chair that committee there now with the driver, with the hope say, inshallah, so 10 September, we will don't sign that final agreement with President, we will announce that to the nation. In addition, we get other partners, Sustainable Energy for All and others, who will then say for those 17. So the remaining about 123 with a package and now meet with some other investors. For example, the good news is we meet with World Bank, the practice manager. He don't already commit to me, say, we will support the mini grid push for the agricultural production centers. So we set a target for 200. Of course, we say we'll get half that one, they say we'll reach an additional 100 communities, but we are more than confident. Say over the next few years, we may be able to hit that 200 additional, which will make us the biggest mini grid hub for the 4 or 5 contiguous countries, and build the skills and so on. Just 2 weeks ago, when I see I bring the Director General of the International Renewable Energy Agency, NIA, it was deliberate. Then said they look, we will get another investment forum first week of September in Kenya. We put additional projects on the table, and part of the package we want to put in at the minutes. Because as we build the bulk power and the and the transmission lines, we want to decentralized energy solutions. If you do 200 more, take roughly 50 for each of the regions, that's 50 communities. But again, the power production amounts will be higher because one day they will use irrigation systems and for use rice mills and so on. So rural electrification is top on our list. The last one on the mining. Yes, and you'll get for feds. Yeah, we'll get for feds big time. Environmental enforcement around that Bumbuna area. We'll get for serious water. We don't let people begin mine. Then the dirty will get that inside we down. Yeah, so that point we raise is good, but again, good engineer now, Dr. Jalo Dende. I don't know the geology connection to Lake Somfon, and they look there far. Maybe there is hydrology issues with Lake Somfon, but wait till I would say. We get good engineers in the team, Dr. Husseini, Dr. Jalo, when they all on the work. They want to start their career 25 years ago. So they're just glad they say a younger generation can repackage this with your own style, take their work, revalidated by good experts around the world with the driver, then said within the community, but a committee. But yeah, those hydrology questions, environmental impacts, we take them very serious and we'll deal with them. In the case of the Bumbuna One flagship, minimal, because the dam already exists. Yeah, the solar, the land is secure. Some of it could be floating solar. Over time, as we expand, yes, we'll therefore look at additional environmental impacts.
Excellent. All right, second round. 1, 2, 3 at the back. Good lady. There. Number 4, number 5, and then if Fabiola lady have not given 6 is enough, they will go up after it. Okay. If as I know, if you get question 2 before you come, you can send the question on 818 toll free on all the platform. You can use the online platform as well and send the question. And the assurance one they always do now is for the answer and ask all questions to myself. I'll take the 6 questions and we can see what we do.
Then Mahmoud Sila from the Nation newspaper. Dr. Yukela, he talked on irrigation. When the Minister of Agriculture today back talk on irrigation. Is it possible as a nation for us to have an institution with demand irrigation system like other countries? Taking for example Kenya, they get what they call National Irrigation Authority.
Thank you. Yes, go ahead.
My name is Suleiman Jao. I write for Expo Times. Dr. Yimukela, you talk about a lot of development initiatives, especially the Tobago rice. 2 weeks back, I visited Bo Muyamba in Putloko. I find out see the initiative with the government in initiative about youth in the farm, not functional again. Even some districts, we do harvesting since 2021, 2022. You ask them for the seedlings in only not all the farming activities. Sustainability is very key. What are they put in place for monitoring and making sure the tomato are sustainable in the country?
Thank you very much. All right, next question.
John Jallo, the Times Thursday newspaper. Madam Koloma, the question is directly to you. If you go on the compact implementation, when you read about the MCC, there's an area where they say you say MCC gives partner countries the lead in implementing their own compact. Under MCC's model, each partner country proposes its own accountable entity structure to manage and implement the compact. The reason why I'm bringing this question, you've seen in this country over the years, grants are provided and they come in the name of Sierra Leone. The grants will come for Sierra Leone people and for the government of Sierra Leone. But when these grants come, you will see some of these institutions, they will send experts in, and most of this money goes back to these experts to them send. And now the MCC, the type of thing you see, there is money where they give, that's what they fall, and even be the law for the implementing country for SEPA over an American company for being involved. Because I don't read about them on the website. So I want to know what's in your position, because now this is money, and you say NCC will approve $480 million, $480 million for Sierra Leone. And when you make that kind of announcement, and people get an idea, so when you don't come with $480 million, don't come. At the end of the day, people will say, they don't drop $480 million. Let's know whether they are going to have experts here to go down for implement this money. Thank you.
See, they are in a very good mood. So I allow Leda Mande ask long question. Go ahead, madam.
Good afternoon, everyone. Merely Party, I am Musha Conte, and I work for the Women's Voice newspaper. The Field Salon are 5 projects, and with all as an union for invest. But how I will continue for invest where there is a rapid importation of goods in the market.
Okay, thank you, Minister Dande, Minister of Finance. You will answer that.
Yeah, I was CC representing Premier News. KKY, I just want to waiting basically on the role of SLARI, Sierra Agricultural Institute, in the attainment of government.
Research Institute, okay.
Yeah, Research Institute, in the attainment of most neglected government institutions.
Okay, thank you very much. There was a sixth person, yes, the billionaire, and then we go wrap up on 4 days.
Good afternoon,
Friends, Deputy Minister, we might give you the microphone for it all. Peter, I'll start with you now. I'll try for balance off. I think your question, the experts here say we can find the money and who sign the money. The question I want also when you talk about, because I think the broader premise that each country they propose in your implementation structure, waiting a will propose structure for Salon.
So the structure is a board, and currently the board has been proposed inside the compact agreement we'll get for sign, made up of government stakeholders, civil society, and private sector. So the board, then they supervise the accountable entity. So once we don't ratify in our parliament, an entity will be created. So you point about in our government, the lead and they. So that ratification, they establish that entity day. That entity they go get CEO, it go get different project directors then, and everything else, communication experts, social media experts, all of that day. All of them position and they now for Salon people then. So the leadership in terms of implementing this project for enter into contracts there with different consultants, with different engineers, all of them, now that entity they get for be responsible. So MCC now get for cover the cost of that entity there. In terms of MCC and people that will go come to America for camp, then get one country director and one deputy country director. Now the extent of the MCC in-country team we get for denial. All of the other positions that the leadership for this process get for be driven by Sierra Leoneans. So if the team come on fine, now we. If you not come on fine, now we back. So MCC now they take responsibility for that. Yeah, and that there is going to be an expectation, say there is local knowledge of the context Salon. So because we get the requirements and they is there, we also expect that we will see a lot of successful in the bids. We also therefore do things like procurement outreach. So we could expect for the work with different. The one critical thing I want to explain something.
Now listen, don't ask the question. Listen,
yeah,
very
that's
important.
Salon. So Salon, when you get the kind of there, it's about information. It's about understanding what's they go on. We office now open office. You're able for coming at any time, ask any question, get access to any kind of procurement document. You get for take the initiative. You also get for kind the bid opening. There you for come also the bid orientation thing they what they do because it allow you for partner with other firms there. Because you need to get the financial capacity. In case you don't get the financial capacity, you can become a subcontractor, a JV. So the opportunities are endless. But you get for exactly. But you get for be strategic, and you get for engage, and you get everything there for them and the public. I want to confirm something with you. MCC not transparent institution will not get secret procurement. Will not get anything with the eye between itself. So make sure that you keep your eyes out. It will be in the public and ask free questions.
Chairman, I can to you for 3 questions if we can. on this question of education system, whether you will just comment on this idea of setting up a specific infrastructure just for that. The role of slurry, now be another question when they will come about, and then there was a question on sustainability with the investment here. I'll give you a chance to comment on this.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Maybe I just add to it in, Madam Day, they say, salon people, they want to get consulting companies now, they want to get engineering companies, and they tell this often, you're good international partner. So when they say you don't get the skill, you partner get the skill because inside they have specialized skills. But you learn how to have your own partnerships ready and build and put everything together. Yeah? It's never a free lunch. It's a competitive process. But yes, a lot of lead time now for beginning organizer, and me know some very good salon company the way they visit they have for I hope they will compete. And slurry, yes, we hope for rebuild slurry. Fortunately, the chief agricultural officer, let me establish slurry, Dr. Jallo, within agriculture, slurry they top on the line. For the feed salon succeed over the next several years, again will be backed by data and science. So yes, he's committed to that. He himself to establish slurry. Irrigation authority, interesting idea. We could take a look. Me are very reticent about creating new ones, but for sure, if the scale we want to do, we get for get a focused, specialized attention to that with all the environmental implications and management. Eventually, that is going to be needed, but will we start with it? I would say no. Let us make sure we meet with targets of irrigation. The Minister of Agriculture will not set a number of targets on irrigated lands across the country, almost we want to achieve over time. So indeed, if we get the numbers, then they will therefore get a specialized focus. Maybe we need another institution or a sub-department of the Ministry of Agriculture. Youth farms, yeah. See, you touch a good point on sustainability. When they look at the youth farms, when they try to revisit that model, which make it fail, commitments, mechanization, a number of problems every day. Delivery of the inputs on time. So they take a look. They're not function well. They're not functioning well. There are other aspects of something that will be introduced earlier, will be fixed, and will move well. Sometimes they come back to that human factor, the salon factor. Possibly way put in charge, the possibly way the runner, the one that we don't give the money for good day, whether they committed or they do no more than left. But we look now on sustainability, the key to long-term sustainability in the private sector. So some of them money will they look for the opportunity for the private sector able to access them, but then say put a skin in the game. You gotta put a skin in the game. Meaning some of your money say go inside. You're ready for take 10. Agriculture not a quick fix, not still to run and driver. So the private sector role, economies of scale, the size of farm, they look at all of that now. Because if you do small farm, sometimes they're not profitable. But maybe if you do 20 hectares, 1,000 hectares, now then scale that they will look now. You're able to employ more people, you're able to balance your risks, you get a scale where you supply school feeding programs and institutional suppliers for army and police and so on. So they look at all of the issues that but the key would be, of course, the macro conditions, private sector participation, and how much we make credits less. And this Nadia will close. Waiting we don't do already. We create a fund where we lend out at 10% already. Instead of you go lend 28% for agriculture, we put and say 10%. So we pray God. If we mining sector really boost, if we really earn from we mining sector, we able to invest in energy, in agriculture. That is what me are very concerned. This country export $1.2 billion of minerals last year. We only got 78 million. That is a big question for you, the young Sierra Leoneans. If you're looking at your future, and we have so much wealth, how do we keep more wealth in this country? Some of them money out, they go look for some country. But you only put 50%, if that natural wealth we go give, you keep some back home. We have to revisit that as Sierra Leoneans. That's a question we only balance. We're not getting much from mining. When will we take a closer look? What the heck is going on? 1.2 billion in exports. It's going to be 2 billion soon, in a couple of years. How much value do we get as a country? What you see, I talk about that internationally. These are things some of us are looking at now, Africa-wide, because everybody wants a piece of our real estate. You, the young generation, you must ask the right questions.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Minister of Finance, 2 additional questions where I think we need you on. I think you did mention the threats to the market with the dump of foreign goods. How will we protect we own farmers them and then produce them if we just allow uncontrolled importation? And then the other question will be on the structure of EDSA. Which are the plans they will get? Right? And also you gave part of the conversation and then Minister said there. So you first.
Thank you. Good question, Madam. The answer is in regulation. When you invest that big, you got to protect the industry. Because if it is going to be growing big and they're going to be doing big farms, you got to make sure that money they invest in that farm be protected from aggressive competition. Say for rice. We're importing all our rice from other countries. What that means is that you're actually funding the farmer in that other country. That's basically what it means. And so, and that farmer in farming, and maybe their own country, they will subsidize them more than we. So they get more advantage for even sell cheap now. Right? So what you do is you incentivize the young farmers and make sure, say, at scale, you protect them. This is the way basic economics work in the world where you want to build industry. So we want to build the agricultural sector. The thing is we incentivize the agricultural sector and protect them. That's how it's done. It's the same thing they're doing in Korea. They allow one kind of cigar for going. When you go in a Hyundai, you see all over the road, or Kia, or those things. You don't see German cars like that because they are protecting that industry. That's how you do it. We have ecologies that are good for feeding ourselves. This is known by agriculturists. The food salon process as government side. That's clean, clear, and it can be targeted when the year go around with the report on to the public. So this is what came in, and then when this is what we spent it on. And then we will tell, for example, the other measures that we will put in term management and the like. EDSA has to be overhauled. This several in our budget statements. Just we have to overhaul it. In the current way in which it is managed, for us, it's a fiscal risk, unpredictable, unsustainable. And the truth is this: the existing management, we have actually sourced out, funded by the World Bank, Deloitte, an international accounting and consulting firm, for the overall review on how to encourage private participation in the management of EDSA. The EDSA has assets; those assets are owned by state. But the management of EDSA, its business model, the technical capability for make sure that they distribute an international reputable firm for car manager will pay them fee, and then we own the property and then manage and maintain a very solid structure. That is what we are proposing, and that's the discussion.
I want to add this, because some of us, it means the EDSA board has to be a professional board. When you establish a board, the board is supposed to provide strategic and technical guidance to the institution. If we're going to reform it, there's a lot of money from World Bank and MCC going into EDSA. They did it before. It didn't work. The board has to be credible. They have to guide that institution. So we need professional, technical people on the EGTC board and the EDSA board, and we keep the timetable of the reform. That is key. This is not witch hunt or anything.
Since we get the deputy minister here, I want to give at least a minute. Let's just comment on this. Because EDSA, like you see, is so central to all of them before me. If we not change them, if we not get them right, we're not getting right. So, Minister, we don't already hear the major point there, but what you want for add, maybe put an exclamation point on it.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Minister. And let's also tell thanks to the panelists again. Yes, indeed, sometimes when you sit on EDSA, you don't care because we all know it's an open secret as all man know. EDSA really is not performing because of so many factors where I'm sure they do outline. But going forward, as the Minister of Finance said, His Excellency the President over the last 1-2 years don't come to the realization, say, indeed, we need to forget a private outfit like EDSA for manage certain components of EDSA. And that the Minister of Finance did allude to a short while ago. Function right in all of this reform, then I think all of the perennial problems we at least we don't need about EDSA, it will be addressed. Because we don't get a situation where you say, at least now me family, this now me this, but it has to be purely on competence basis. So on that note, for sure the public say the EDSA reform is ongoing and it is on an accelerated pace. And hopefully we will continue to inform the public with respect to Alpha Odongo and Usawide. And one thing I want to know, the reason why
I have a question for almost all the Minister of Finance. The question is, we get $450 million, $480 million.
It's okay.
MCC money. We also don't get $800 million pledges. How the Sierra Leone economy react to them things? Then the Minister of the KK1, you talk about we know the quick fixes. I don't think say some people there. They need the kind of patience we do like for them. For them thing they are. People are hungry, electricity is a crisis, and you like the position for them. They don't go be too far for let people begin to feel this impact. Before now, we don't get African Development Bank project on Tomato. We don't see anything. In fact, people in the book say, we want to get these things. Thank you very much.
Okay. Now just make sure see nobody else not gets a burning question. No one just for dinner manager. And then anybody else. If you didn't have you see wait. Madam, put the context. Because if you question, they don't answer it, they don't ask it, and you know say a burning question, put up your hand. Because if I give the mic, there is a question they don't answer, we they don't already touch on, I will vex. Okay. So this man, they don't say they put in your hand. When I get the mic. Yes.
We are and the right for exclusive. And we understand Seli, one of the companies that we come for make open office too. One takes a long government course because they don't do a lot of things, feasibility studies for making open office too. And we have supposed to give them that contract up to now, they pay government for them and get that contract. And say, take today, and I'm not free for giving the contract and plan for taking her to court. So, is it true, say, una contract this company to leave?
Okay, thank you. We understand the question. Thank you. Yes, go on. This man on this side.
Mina John Kerry Mara, I report for PA.
Yes, sir.
The question will go for both Dr. Karekela and the Minister of Finance. And the question is, we don't really see the climate change is described as a productivity, and they reduce the food productivity in markets. On our book up at 28, what kind of mechanisms are you put in place for climate change disrupt food and productivity? And also the issue of EDSA. How can EDSA separate and buy to power for sale to me? And then it's sustainable energy resources. How is that facing?
Well, that's second question, Bill. If I know what you ask, I feel vex. They will all answer. Yes, sir. Final one.
Thank you very much. My name is Saladi. I'm going to be in civil society. This question I will direct to the Minister of Information and Civic. Mr. Minister, when you made a bill, you update today. you may say, and to advertise, then get 86 recommendation. I wonder you tell this nation, waiting at the timeline, when una go give it, their recommendation, then they will know, they will digest them, they will know, because this MCC, the Minister of Finance, we they talk about democracy. Now, that's it, when they talk about democratic election. So therefore, one for no, because I want a very, very key. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All right, that's an excellent question. I'm glad it was. And I promise you, say now we'll end it. So, make we come first to Minister of Finance this time. Minister, the question, Dixon, the question, how the economy really reacts. And then I think Chairman, he had quite a few, so I'll give chance to prepare. Go on, yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Very good question. Because I think you try to dovetail into the economy. Smart man. When a state begin mobilize resources like this, internationally the signal are the following. Your partners are beginning to have confidence in the reforms that you are undertaking. Your partners are beginning to see stability in some of the fundamental indicators of how state is managed. Your partners or even investors are beginning to have comfort and confidence in predictability of potential investments in that particular economy. So let me talk about the predictability side. What we are mobilizing is international DFI public sector money. DFI is Development Financial Institution money. Then they come for drain government money. Now, what will normally happen in that space, then they get other component of our way they go to private sector. When the private sector can't get access to the money, it will leverage that money multiple times, through other financing sources. So if then you announce over $1 billion potential investment or disbursement of money coming to an economy of Sierra Leone, that's over 20%, 20-25% of your GDP. Certainly a big boost to an economy. Business people and investors will be looking at trying to be attracted to that country. This is the signal, that's the reaction. And what we are seeing, even for our business people here, what it tells them is that, yes, with the other policies and reforms that we have been implementing, that stability that we are seeing in key indicators, for example, the currency in value, which we have seen stable, or even price level, which we have seen drop by 18 percentage points since October last year to now, and continue to trend downwards. All of those are strong signals. But again, there are new indicators very important for the public, and I think it's important to know. We don't recalibrate with GDP. They call it GDP rebasing in this country. When you rebase the GDP, it tells you that we have a bigger economy than we will be the assessor. So very important fundamental indicators don't turn out to be positive. I think it's important for know this. One, our economy is now solidly growing. There are a lot of service sector contribution to GDP or share, about 44%. We don't see industry, it's predominantly mining and manufacturing, don't increase for about 5 percentage points every day to over 20% contribution to GDP now. Agriculture will be predominantly subsistence with all man they do. Agriculture is about 33%, but it tells us that in fact there's a lot of industrial value addition shifting away from subsistence going into manufacturing, especially on the agricultural space. Now, all that information they culminate will build confidence in the system. And I think it is important. Now, some of the other indicators, so if I not say with debt levels in the country, even although debt service responsibilities are see high, it means you really need to increase your revenue uptake. Our revenue uptake in the country is something that we are working on, and the reforms that we will put in place, those reforms are turning out to yield the kind of result. Although the base of revenue collection, as we know from the in terms of the last 2 years finance bill and tax measures, those ones now we get for make sure say institute solid administrative compliance measures for make sure so we boost up revenue uptake. But that's the take. Now I'll give you this. I have a very positive outlook on the economy. Very positive outlook on this economy. And I think our partners are beginning to indicate that already. IMF, I think she said this, we are closing on IMF discussions. We've completed June very solidly, and I believe the key indicators, the way, just took the numbers yesterday, the key indicators we don't commit to get, we're going to do with government taking debt, I mean, through central bank, or reserve money, meaning part money in central bank we keep out, but also equally debt level, primary debt level, I mean deficit level of the government itself. All of those have been managed in a way that they are within the limits following the program. We're negotiating with the World Bank. We are short of budget support directly to the government. Spend at 65 million right now. When I discuss with the PEC fund, they have possibility of joining with the World Bank for scale-up budget support. We can negotiate with the World Bank based on the reforms that we do, but make sure the World Bank will increase the budget support to about $100 million every year. That's joined with the IMF, that's about $800 million. It's a direct money coming into the treasury, right? So that's the outlook, and that's for the next 3 years. Those monies will be coming in every 6 months or towards the fourth quarter every year. So that's the outlook. That's the impact of this kind of pronouncements. It means partners are beginning to see the seriousness of the reforms that we are taking. We need the people. It's very important. We need peace, we need stability, but make sure all the efforts that we make, these efforts are maintained, sustained, but make sure that we actualize the promises that we will really work on. I think it's important to send that message to the public. That is exactly what we do. Thank you very much.
This never can say Jamasala Muhammad. Because this one, you don't talk about it. Wake up at the economy, we don't see the baseline, the work we don't do, we talk concrete IMF, World Bank contributions to the economy, and all around the world, say, then nobody will go behind. Now, based on the numbers, for let them go give the kind of confidence and for let things begin to look up. I talk like they say, we don't also, not just flatten the curve, we don't bend the curve. Because we did on the economy. Things are looking up within the right position now. So you find, where if anybody as a citizen, they try to push you for let you go cause trouble. We want to say, oh, let peace not there. That means they want to go back to some come out. This country are all the resources we can, it will benefit we all will be them. And we for committed to peace, to tell APC thank you, when they take part from the tripartite, we all come together, we don't decide say, we implement them, inform them, and we get this country go before. Chairman, over to you, sir. You get a question there on CELI projects, where I was saying one, and then I think this in question, I came to the Liberian Empire, they say driving sweets. But what you do eat while they meet the guy? He said the people that wake up my energy, immune theory, and that people don't get no patience. So I want to just comment on that. How we do both in a business, we can say you be strategic or responsive at the same time. So you deal with the long-term problems while at the same time you deal with the small one there as the
interested. Now NSSF sent me email yesterday. Yeah. Because they raised 100 million. So I go meet Emily, I said, my friend, you've just raised 100 million. We want to do 200 million with Scam. Not interested. Yesterday he sent me an email. He said, Dr. Yukela, we want to take a second look. Because they're following the news. They're following what is happening. And I link down I did say this public, I used to be a big politician, yeah, now I'm a technician. The power and the courage of waiting President Bio and Samura Kamara do. It's powerful. Don't minimize it. I was a big time politician. I've been in their shoes. Samura Kamara shaking hands with President Bio is not for anybody, but to send that signal of stability. And what I will say to people, you don't know who that they benefit from the investment. Who that be no saying and it's Koromari can cut really pan 2009. 9 billion, no? So this is why for the long-term investments, let me join and let me foundation lay. You don't know who that they donor. And as I know they donor. So then I see by the candle. So then I factor money the candle. So tell us somebody else, so when I make sure we lay this foundation for the next generation. For the next generation, it's very important. That stability, that peace. You never know. Otherwise, you can't start from zero. Until we start from zero, now that make power sector their problem. This thing you write them for begin field. The minister don't talk about how they begin field. But if some of them flows here, then they begin higher. You don't hear it from here already, Madam Day, how they get for higher. Their projects are not to free-term projects. All the 6 energy projects they want to look at, all are upline. Yeah, from Tokolili to Bo, to Moyamba, to Kenema, to Pikongo. All of those are rural. People will be hired. Energy will be done. The dream where we get that in 3 years we lower that tariff. The average tariff now is Salomon they pay at 22 cents. Yeah, well, they buy at 25. Now that makes Minister of Finance always they sweat. Again for subsidized. We don't want that. If that price they go down, the economy they boom. So yes, some of the impacts will come. For let people who are patient, we get for they talk to them. Then they see progress. Now that make we put the context. Let us say when we accountable say, hey, doctor one or they don't begin build that power line. One see we journalists one who see inside the day now. Because we are go helpful. If somebody really grab the net for begin cut them line, now we only there work. So then team and they part of building that trust and patience. Now if we take one into the implementation, una said the Koro and say yes to the power line and don't begin on. Come for stretch that line way day 1 billion, they take time. But at least we'll get for higher people than for doing and then they see, I should say people go patient say okay, we'll be a small. Once they see the results and the accountability there. So hold us accountable. Climate resilience very necessary. Now that makes some of the irrigation important. When rain not come, because all the forecasts they will see now about the negative impacts of climate change, part of building resilience is to have the irrigation schemes in. So you can do 2 to 3 crops. New varieties that are drought resistant, that are disease resistant. So they look at Arlington and they how we get high yielding varieties and so on. The thing where Minister of Finance mentioned about this resilience sustainability fund of the IMF. From last year, it held and President said don't talk to them. But we get for meet certain conditions, certain regulations, for no access even that big money for build better resilience into the economy. Selling hydro. May I say this public. Now one of the examples and these are the TIMA for what's wrong with the country. People they count bad projects. Look some of the engineers that I have. I don't research that project A to Z. 12 years ago, I can't propose that project to this country. 12 years ago. It began change hands from Joule Energy to Selly Energy. That's tell you now. People hold you assets for 12 years. They're not being. Then he can't tell you, say, you for pay me 90 million because I know you do but you want to take her. Think about it. That's freezing this nation. As we say Bumbuna, is it Selly? Is it June? We say hell no, it is not. This is Bumbuna 1 upgrade. That is Bumbuna 2. It will be dead. We're ready to go for arbitration. It is a bad project. It's always been bad. Every DFI says it is wrong. They don't build it is 1.1 billion. For waiting 150 megawatts. Waiting we try for do. We try for give you 150 megawatts for less than 300 million. Which one you do? And then the man say, I'm not doing nothing for 12 years, but if you pay me 90 million. Last see, when they go arbitration, when they fight for the sake of this country, we're not take that.
This country don't change you. Power by Amity. Yeah. We deliver. Makolo. Bebe. Yeah, Liberty. On that note, I have this opportunity for thank you to the partner they were able for bringing this program to now. Zoom Lab. I want to tell thank you to Sierra Water, where they provide our water. With internet, after sale, we support the ministry. SL Media, where they provide all the technical things, where they make sure say we come fine, we skip very high quality and good partnership. VSO, where they make sure say we are the only program right now. We're completely inclusive because every time we make sure say we get sign language and people already watch in our house as well. They make whether if you know they directly, but you're able to follow this program. But the most important partnership now we are members of the 40 states. The community station there across the country, the Kaiwi, SLBC, the Kaiwi Live, AYV, all the bloggers, many of them get hundreds of thousands of followers. When I deny on the people stream, radically, it means a lot to me, it means a lot to the people of this country. Today, we don't see an example of the transformation we wish for in this country. When I get right to information, now when I write, we as public servants for Canada provide and break information down and we have all be accountable. And President Bill envisioned that and we will continue for them to meet again next month for say plenty thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Plenty thank you. So we will let now this unity broadcasting, we broadcast live.
Charger. Yeah, can they get that?